Evening for our centrepiece gala, supported by the Mayor of London, which is the world premiere of Testament of Youth.
Twice as hard as the men.
Worth, Shelley, all these romantics aren't good for you, you know.
I suppose you think me ridiculous.
No.
Our youth has been stolen from us.
Vera, let's agree. No more fear.
No more fear.
I'd like to extend an enormous thank you to our colleagues, both at Lionsgate and Protagonist, for enabling this screening to happen. It really is an honour to be entrusted with any film's world premiere, and in case you don't all know it, that means you're the first eyes to see this film, so it's a very exciting moment for everybody.
I'm absolutely delighted to welcome everybody to this Mayor's centrepiece film, at the London Film Festival, and it is a wonderful film. I'm going to get off the stage very, very soon because the talent, the people who actually made this wonderful film, and everybody tells me it's brilliant, but I'm apparently.
It was such an honour and a privilege to be entrusted with this beloved memoir, Testament of Youth, by the Vera Brittain estate. A big thank you in particular to Mark Bostridge and Shirley Williams, who were incredibly supportive. And the whole journey kicked off, as David said, with BBC Films, so I really don't want to forget Christine Langan and Joe Oppenheimer. They were both fantastic. There are so many brilliant people to bring on, so let me race ahead with, first of all, I'm so proud this is the first feature of James Kent, and as you'll see, he's really shone with it, so I'd love to welcome to the stage James. Juliet Tawhidi, our fantastic scriptwriter, who wrote the most beautiful and effective script. Vera's anthem for a lost generation rings down the years, and she wanted us never to forget, and she wrote this wonderfully heartfelt, heartbreaking act of, her book was this wonderful act of remembrance, really. And I hope she would be, very glad that all these years later we're still remembering the names of Edward, Victor, Roland, Geoffrey. And I hope she'd be very proud of the young men who play those roles. So I'd love to welcome Edward Brittain, is played by Taron Egerton. His fiancé, Roland Layton, is played by Kit Harington. Victor Richardson is played by Colin Morgan. Vera's parents, Mr. and Mrs. Brittain, are played by Dominic West and Emily Watson. Handing over to James Kent now, who has made this beautiful film that we're so proud of.
Thank you, Rosie, and thank you, David. Yes, it's my first feature, gosh, and it's kind of thrilling to have it here tonight, primarily for two reasons. The first is that, this is London. It's the London Film Festival, it's the biggest festival in the United Kingdom, and this is a British story. I mean, from London, 900,000 young men went from our great train stations and never came back. From London, Vera Brittain loved, and she continued to live here for quite a while. It was very special in her place. So it was from London that we conceived this film, shot some of it, cast it, edited it. So I cannot think of a better place to launch Testament of Youth than at the London Film Festival. It truly was a privilege. Couldn't have done it either without this incredible cast. Look at them. So I would like now to hand over to the most important lady in this room, who is Shirley Ringham's daughter of Vera Griffin.
Very much, James, and thank you all for coming. Let me say, having listened to the Mayor, that I have to say if London was not the premier centre of the film industry yesterday, it certainly is today. Let me also say that it's been for me a great pleasure indeed to see the amazing dedication and comradeship of this particular group of men and women. The actors, the director, the co-producers, the sponsors, have all been committed to this film in a way which is quite unusual. They've been committed to the idea of the film, to what the film tries to say, and not just to the possibility of having a film fill the box office. I'm greatly pleased with them. I want to thank them very much indeed, not least for the friendship between them, which is not always common and which is extremely impressive with this particular cast. And let me say finally that, as you will see in the film, the combination of the comfortable material world of Edwardian England in the fading years of the 19th century, followed only a decade later by the descent into hell, which was in effect what the trenches were. The discovery of vile creatures, dying bodies, people who were dying and even drowned in the mud of the trenches, is to bring home the horror of that war. And as we once again celebrate the centenary, we also have to recognise the extraordinary courage of those young men and women who fell in that war, many of whom had no idea of what they were getting into. We have to thank those who came out of it, as my mother did, saying they were going to change the world for something better. And we should end by watching a film to say to ourselves, we must try to bring war to an end. Thank you for listening.